back here at the GSL Code S. DRG is off the hook, man.
Yeah, I would say so, Tasteless. He looks so good. If he won the Final Wings Delivery Tournament, I wouldn't be surprised, man.
A lot is on the line here, guys. The last Wings Delivery Tournament. Don't forget. After that, I mean, yeah, it's the expansion back to StarCraft 2, but it is essentially a completely different RTS game.
Yeah, it's going to change up everything that we know to be true at the moment.
New units, the units we had before, completely, most of them operating on a completely different level, which is going to impact the way the units that haven't been changed operate.
It's crazy.
Craziness.
So, our next match, TaeJa against Innovation. Should be an epic TVT. TaeJa has looked just fantastic lately, but so has Innovation. Who are you feeling here? Because this one is really, for the first one, I was like, no, I think DRG's got it. I mean, Bomber's really good, maybe come back, but
I'm going with Innovation here.
That's what I was going to say. It's so tough between these two, but Innovation, there's something about this kid. Something about little Bogus coming into StarCraft 2 and swinging around his nerd mace and just bashing skulls.
He is really hard to...
And while TaeJa has a sword made out of light that has sliced through so many people, it's cloudy today.
It is. It is indeed. It's also very dark in our studio, so things to keep in mind. Us as analysts have to keep that stuff.
Yeah, no, we gotta.
Here, you know,
I gotta have a piece of paper to write down all the little magical artifacts I assign every player, so that I can keep track of how it affects them.
All right, TaeJa against Innovation. Let's take a look at a little highlight video before we get this match going.
윤영서 힘! 전차가 전차가! 잘 몰았어요, 윤영서!
잘 돼 있어요.
네, 윤영서 선수는 버티기만 해도 됩니다.
벤시 하나.
진짜 막아요. 해병 자기 좋아요, 위치 좋아요. 골 컨트롤하는데.
컨트롤 벙커.
골 대박!
Part of the highlight reel for Innovation there was a bunch of banelings hitting his planetary. Pretty sick.
Well, TaeJa, this guy is so solid, but similar to what happened with DRG a little while ago. Remember DRG was winning everything, and then he sort of teetered off a little bit from where he was. I think the same's happened for TaeJa, or waiting for TaeJa to come back and continue to reign supreme.
Yeah, look at that. His round of 16 advance rate is 100%. That's pretty sick. But no, I have to agree with you there, Tasteless. Whereas Innovation, you know, there's a gigantic amount of respect that I have to assign anyone that was good at Terran in StarCraft 1. Pro-level Terrans in StarCraft 1 are the most mechanically skilled humans on the planet. So I feel like Innovation, who's been doing very well in StarCraft 2 as well, showing that he understands what StarCraft 2 is all about, but maintains his StarCraft 1 skills, I could see him doing it here. You know, I could see him taking out TaeJa in some pretty close TVTs.
Well, Innovation, I feel like he's the full package here.
Yeah.
You know, still riding off his recent success here in StarCraft 2. It's going to be fun to see exactly what they have in store for each other. You know, going into this, I think TaeJa, I think like a lot of these Liquid guys, he could be a champion, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like with Hero and same with TaeJa, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, he's, and of course we mean GSL champion.
Yes, excuse me, a GSL champion.
It is a different level from the other tournaments. It's,
well, GSL is just harder and better at the end of the day than it is on the global scene. But it looks like our map's going to be Daybreak. Great TVT map. Probably going to be a pretty long, epic game. But then again, these guys have cheesed before, so get ready. All right, guys, I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. We're Tastosis. The Casting Archon bring you the best StarCraft 2, even esports action in the world here at GSL Code S. In the upper right, we have our first Terran player, 1 of 2 from the site TeamLiquid.net. He is
Liquid TaeJa.
That is a keyboard that looks like Valentine's Day candy. In the bottom left,
yuck.
We have, I love Valentine's Day candy, those little hearts.
Be
we
mine.
have our Terran player. He's one of the newest, best Terran players out there. He is.
STX Soul Innovation.
Can you actually get Valentine's Day candy
Where?
in Seoul?
Probably not. I don't know. I've not seen
Would
it.
you go to the foreign
not,
food
not
market?
that cheap, terrible stuff that we had as kids.
I don't know why. That was one of the few candies I could eat. It tastes like chalk or something, and it's not really good, but for some reason I can eat it.
I'm pretty sure it's made out of like gross Tums, like reject Tums.
It's made out of reject Tums?
Yeah, like it doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't stop heartburn. No, I never cared for it.
What is
Maybe I never cared for chicken.
Artosis. I can only imagine Artosis as a young boy in 3rd grade when they had to make the shoe boxes for Valentine's Day.
That's right. Tape them on your desk.
And you had your Aladdin Valentine's Day.
It's
Aladdin.
tissue box though.
Yes, I'm sorry, tissue box, and then you had your. Because this is the thing when you're that old. You actually got to put a lot of thought into which card you give which girl.
It is.
You know,
that's so true, man.
You're like, all right, well,
does my Princess Jasmine card go to girl A or
is it
girl
going to
B?
be the one where she's cuddling the tiger, or is it going to be the one where Princess Jasmine's holding hands with?
Yeah, like do
Aladdin?
I want to show her holding world, or is this?
Well, it wouldn't be that one because that's Little Mermaid, but
No, a whole new world is absolutely Aladdin.
Oh, you know what? You might be right. Yeah,
it's when you ride the carpet, Tasteless. See, now this is how I can tell no one ever brought you on a magic carpet ride, Tasteless.
No, it never happened.
Because you would have known. You'd be like, oh my god, a magic carpet ride. They're like, yes, a whole new world.
I think Aladdin was the best Disney movie.
It was. There's not even.
By the way, since Valentine's Day is coming up, if you guys want to know the secret to making a girl love you and stay with you forever, it's actually you got to watch one of those Disney movies with them.
I was gonna say get them a GSL premium ticket, but yeah, I mean Disney movies, girls probably like that too.
They probably do. Well, no, they just do. You're like, all right, we'll watch Beauty and the Beast this time, and then you sit there slowly getting buzzed off of beer while she's really into it.
Supposed to be having wine, Tasteless.
Wine, excuse me.
Yeah.
My finest box of wine.
You would totally be the candlestick in Beauty and the Beast.
Would I?
Yeah, I know you think you'd be the Beast. You wouldn't be the candlestick.
I'd be the Beast. I'm a Beast dude,
no,
man.
you'd be the candlestick.
But I wouldn't have turned into the human, man. Being a Beast dude's fine.
It's way better.
It's way better. I want to be a human. Just accept who you are.
Yeah, be happy with yourself.
Yeah.
All right, well.
We got fast expanding Terrence here.
That's right. We do have the gas from TaeJa. That's allowing him to get up his reactor and make a few extra Marines and go right into the factory. Now, as far as innovation goes, he did get 2 gas after the expansion. And that, of course, is going to allow him to tech up as well. Just not quite as quickly, even though his economy will be a bit further ahead than TaeJa's. Now, the question is, who wants to go for a medevac? Who wants to go for Banshee? And it looks like probably we'll see medevac from TaeJa. Definitely could be a Banshee as well, but with the amount of Marines that he's able to produce right now, I feel like it's a good call to think about going for a medevac first.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. But we will have to see. This is a map. We probably won't see any engagements until both players have a third base and everything's up and running. Mm-hmm. But this is probably our oldest map. It's still here at GSL. I want to say there's one more that we had. It's as old as this one.
Well, Cloud Kingdom is pretty similar era. I think that's the last. Those are the oldest 2 we have right now, I believe.
Yep.
I think Daybreak is actually technically older.
I think you're right.
I'm like 99% sure on that. Well, we do have both players right now getting their starports. Very similar timings. We do have TaeJa first with the medevac. And that was a pretty money scan that just occurred. Let me see just to make sure that he saw everything. Wait.
We're talking about innovation scanning TaeJa, by the way.
Oops. Actually, he didn't see the starport, but with the placement of the barracks, you have to say that there's a starport there. Yeah. So he's going to know basically exactly what's coming. That's why he's already positioned everything in good spots in his main base. And with his own Hellions on the way, as well as a Viking, he should be able to hold this off relatively easily. I don't think he'll take much damage from this. There's a possibility because it's going to be double-pronged, but we'll see.
Well, you also got to keep in mind, is the medevac going to be taken out or anything like that? There's a lot that can go on here. Mm-hmm. So we got the Marines coming here towards main. This is a not easy attack to stop. Not the most common TBT strategy. Like I said, normally we just take the third base. Denied.
Yep, and the Hellions
come in.
Yeah, the Hellions still down there waiting, they want to run in. And now with the Viking out, this is basically already deflected.
And he can even go out here now and hit these Hellions. Doing a great job there.
That is right. And we find ourselves with our two players in pretty similar spots. But TaeJa is making that third command center, getting his eBay going. Whereas with Innovation, oh no, he just started his third command center, I was going to say. Well, both of them with very minimal structures for producing units, and the third command center is on the way. No super good attacks can happen anytime soon. Only real pressure attacks, where someone has to screw up if you want to do a lot of damage.
All right, so these Hellions are going to poke in here. They will not engage, though. And now back up. And it looks like the command center is about to finish here. Another barracks also going to be planted down. Again, nobody's really able to touch each other at this phase of the game without it being too much of a risk.
That's right, just some harassment once again. Now, we do have Innovation going for a Hellion drop, and there's no defense here in TaeJa's base, so this has the potential to do some pretty significant damage, and this is the type of damage he needs. His command center is a little bit slower, that third one, so something like this is going to actually even the odds if he can get quite a few.
One more shot. Oh, getting a few there.
Yeah, he got 4. 4 for 2 Hellions dead, 5 now. Making him lose mining time as well, you have to remember.
Oh, there's one wounded one. Okay, he takes that out.
I would say that was pretty much worth it. They're both going Marine tank, so Hellions aren't all that useful at this stage of the game. I like that from Innovation. Good usage of those Hellions.
And they're both, again, just continuing to power up. When you're both going Marine tank, this is a lot about positioning and getting that right moment where you can stim and run in there, especially before they have siege mode. If you could snipe their tanks and get your tanks up in siege mode to hit their Marines, you are in good shape.
Yeah. This is one of those funny things that we sometimes see in mirrors, especially in ZVZ, but this time in TVT, where both players opened with similar but not the same openers. They were slightly different in some very key ways, and they end up at exactly the same spot. They're both floating towards their third. They have the exact same upgrades at the exact same timings. Their supplies are the same. Everything is the same. And it's funny how this can happen, but it shows how well mapped out the matchup is, that these guys know with multiple different builds that, like, oh, by this time you kind of just need this, so it gets narrowed down, basically.
Wings of Liberty is pretty much figured out.
Pretty well. I mean, it's...
Especially matchups like this.
It's still evolving slightly, but there's not much reason for it to. When this GSL ends, that's it. In fact, this GSL Finals, I believe, is like 2 days before HOTS comes out. So it's like literally it. It's the period on the end of the sentence.
Now,
or maybe the exclamation point. Maybe if it's a good finals.
The period on the end of the paragraph.
Yeah.
Now, we got third base again acquired at almost identical timing. And Innovation's APM was pretty out of control there for a second, about 400. But you always take Innovation with APM with a grain of salt. That tends to be the most overhyped thing that you can actually not draw too much of. There's also useless APM that you could have where you're just not actually doing anything. You're making redundant clicks.
That's very true. And I actually want to theorize something with you while we wait for this game to get to a point where these two will actually start battling again.
Sure.
Because right now they're just kind of keeping up with each other, slightly different timings on all their buildings. But APM was so overhyped and then so fought against as being overhyped that I feel at times now it's underhyped. Where it's like, well, guys, let's not forget that if you do have 400 APM, you can learn how to play the game after that. You
got a drop over here, and this will be the night. And going up what you were just saying there, I think the problem was when StarCraft 2 first came out, everybody was so obsessed with APM. I remember people would ask me, why doesn't GSL open up the APM tab in the first minute? And I'm thinking, that doesn't actually matter. That's
especially in the first minute.
I know the first minute. What are they possibly doing but clicking on that? It's step 4 APM doesn't mean that you should suddenly think they're doing more than they actually can. And then I think when a lot of people that watch GSL and these other tournaments started to play and get to Masters levels or even better Grandmasters, are like, oh, okay, I see what he means by that.
Yeah.
And we got more barracks coming down here. And by the way, with that being said, there is, I think, a bare minimum amount of APM you have to have in order to play or compete.
Oh, yeah.
Which varies depending on race and matchup. But, yeah, I mean, nowadays it's pretty much everybody's fast enough, especially when you're watching stuff like this. Are we going to see a drop in the main? It looks like we could.
Yeah, it does look like that. We've been seeing this more and more recently, where in TVT, Terrans are loading up a bunch of medevacs and going for it. And if you actually unload those, siege up, and have some of your medevacs alive after the missile turrets are gone, then it's pretty darn powerful. So we'll see if he can get that done. But I think TaeJa actually has good enough defense that this is going to have to turn around. There's just way too many turrets and a Viking.
He should turn around. Oh, yeah, he turns around in time. But
Here comes the army of TaeJa right now.
Oh, but he could get sandwiched. Stimmy now coming down.
Yeah, and in fact, he's trying to just fight half the army right now because he knows the rest is in the other location. Look at this, a beautiful spread right now by TaeJa, killing off a lot of Innovation's units. He has so many medevacs here, whereas the medevacs are away for his opponent.
Now backing up, and he's going to try to drop on top of these siege tanks here. This is a really smart move right now.
Yeah, I really love this move. I have to agree with you, Tasteless. And he's taken out several siege tanks. Wow, that was a good hold by Innovation considering he was way out of position and TaeJa almost capitalized
there. Well, he kited his opponent's Marines back with his Marines to allow the siege tanks to get 1 or 2 extra shots off while the Marines were healed with the medevacs. It was really nicely done.
Totally. So, Totes. Well, right now, we do have exactly the same supply. As Tasteless would say, the supply is deadlocked.
It's deadlocked, guys. Yeah. That's a word.
They're both chilling in the 170s. Similar SCV count, just a few more for TaeJa right now. Similar siege tank count, medevac count, and Marine count. So everything's really even. It's coming down to positioning.
Stim Marines, if they got a few of these tanks, nope, they run away because there were Marines down there by Innovation to back them up.
Yeah, trying to take out a few Marines. They're not really working out for Innovation, though.
Good scan there so he doesn't overstep and get hit pretty hard.
Trying to pick up his... almost gets a siege tank there. Very, very close. I like little moves like that because will you repair? Yes, TaeJa does because TaeJa is so good. But you know what? Even if you get that siege tank down really low, it's worth a few Marines because siege tanks are so much more valuable at this point in the game. If they don't repair it, of course, that is.
As long as you have a solid clump of Marines that you can use to snipe their tanks, yeah, you're totally fine. All right, so notice that TaeJa's expansion's up and running, whereas Innovations is not quite there yet.
Yeah, and so far with the Venn diagram of the minimap, nothing in common.
Oh, now he's going to know about this pickup here, if this is actually what this is. I'm actually a bit surprised that he's going into that
into the sensor tower, yeah. Well, he's getting punished for it a little bit down here. The movements of Innovation. Oh, okay, I see. He's just sieging up a few things over here. This is a very annoying thing to do in TVT. Not super duper effective, but he's poking where he can. And you notice that, you know, Innovation's been a little bit more wasteful walk around. Like, for instance, when he was doing that, we saw those Marines get killed. And that's why TaeJa right now actually has a much bigger bank, even though both players are maxed out.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Even though it looks like it's dead even, the supplies are, there's a considerable difference here. And that will allow TaeJa to get those 2 command centers up there.
Yeah.
It does look like Innovation is becoming a bit impatient. It seems like he might actually try to break in here. But we'll see. He could try to contain as well.
Yeah. Well, both players are going to basically be taking the map. And this is getting very stalematy. And in fact, we see a lot of TVTs in this map, and quite a few of them are biotank versus biotank. But normally someone would have misstepped enough by now that it wouldn't look quite like this, at least in the GSL. But at this point, you know, even with the killer instinct both these players have, no one has misstepped enough to get it into a position where this doesn't look like it could go extra long.
We got this drop actually coming in over here. The top left, which could deny this command center if he sees it in time. It looks like this will deny it. Meanwhile, a scan over here from Innovation as he's saying he wants to go inside. Oh my god, a lot of medevacs being gunned down. This is really bad news.
Uh-oh, and Innovation just going. He's doing a nice flank here, and the siege tanks of TaeJa out of position now. A lot of them up near his watchtower as opposed to down here. He's going to lose a command center. Down 1 command center goes. The Marines continue to push forward, and TaeJa in a lot of trouble. Innovation dealing a ton of damage.
Innovation has just forced his way in. A planetary there is not going to make it easy for those Marines there. Stimmy now coming up again. I don't see much tank defense here. In fact, it looks like Innovation's tanks block off the bottom. And
oh my god.
If he gets this one.
Innovation just killed 3 command centers in a row. Can he get a 4th here?
Yeah, he's going to.
Oh my god, 4 command centers. He's lost almost nothing.
Are you serious?
TaeJa's in a terrible spot. He's got to run back right now, do siege tanks a bit more. And the Marines do follow, but this siege tank line
actually just ended.
I tell you what.
I think he actually just dismantled his opponent.
He definitely dismantled him quite a bit. There's no question there. And with these medevacs, actually, though, and no Marines left for Innovation, TaeJa can drop on top of them and start taking some out. That's why we see these Marines stemmed running over as quickly as possible. But a lot of damage can still be done.
All right, now he's got more Marines coming up over here. I can't emphasize how behind he is right now. Imagine how many mules he could have had dropped right now.
4 command centers is a lot of command centers, Taste. This is not quite like 6 or 7 command centers, but it's definitely more than 2 or 3.
You know, you don't normally, yes, indeed, Artosis. You're going to count on Sesame Street right now. No, seriously, though, I mean, if you actually look at, like, the... You don't normally see a TDT where somebody actually just forces their way in with both Terrans are maxed out, does that much damage.
Look, it was weird, too, because TaeJa kind of knew it was coming and got some units in position, but he left a big chunk of his army in a line
I think he's
at another direction where he had sensor towers to see if anything was coming, but nothing was coming. So, definitely a peculiar thing that TaeJa let happen to himself. And now Innovation does have that big lead that we were actually talking about, how it was funny how no one had a big lead yet when these guys are such killers.
Well, I think he's actually going to go in for an attack again in the same location, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, maybe he thinks that's the weak spot. Once you break a bone taste, it's more easy to break the next time.
Yep. Now killing more and more Marines just out of range of these other siege tanks here. He may back up again, actually. And, wow. If you just look at the number of expansions that each player has that are actually operational, it's pretty crazy. Innovation, I think, is almost at the point where he cannot lose unless he makes a tremendous blunder. And I don't know what TaeJa's plan is. Is TaeJa going to sit back and wait for him? Okay, I guess we're going to see in a second here.
Yeah. Well, you know, Innovation is hemorrhaging some units here and there. You know, he's getting a little bit more sloppy. More and more sensor towers are going up as they both want to be completely ready for anything incoming.
Yep.
But, you know, Innovation's getting these extra upgrades that actually are going to make a difference. Things like high-sec auto-tracking, so that his turrets are going to take out drops a lot easier, and his planetaries can stop harassment quite a bit easier. He's getting his +3 attack. And
this could be bad.
That looks like Innovation in fine position.
Wow, actually, just completely walking around that.
Yeah. But this is kind of crazy, man. Innovation, oh my god, I can't believe what I'm seeing right here. We do have TaeJa running and stimming forward as these tanks are left alone, but that leaves this huge Marine clump over here for Innovation. There's no siege tanks with it, so he's got to be careful. Very methodical TaeJa can definitely take out this army, but this army is so mobile.
And don't forget there's medevacs in the mix here, too. So they can actually pick up and fly away if they get into a bad position here.
Oh my god, he needs to spread more than that. Well, he runs away a little bit late, so it takes a lot of splash damage, but his Marines still have a lot of firepower. With that many medevacs, he can heal quite a bit. Another command center does go down.
He is playing amazingly, just avoiding the siege tanks and continuing to go up now. Now watch, the siege tanks are going to enter into siege mode, but they back up. Now, if you look at how much Marines actually cost, this is basically free here for everything he's doing.
The only sad thing will be losing those medevacs if he ends up losing them all. But no, he's dealing a lot of damage, man. Look at this. He's going to start getting depots, add-ons, all sorts of important stuff here.
So smart. He's just getting the tech labs here.
Yeah. Just wearing the production way, way down, taking out quite a few. Might even take out the sensor tower, the turrets, anything at all. It creates more actions for TaeJa. He's going to have to replace a lot of this. But that was pretty effective again by Innovation. We can see that their banks are both used up mineral-wise, yet Innovation remains ahead in supply by 23.
If you look at the tank count here, it's actually 18 tanks for TaeJa to 8 here for Innovation. So TaeJa does have better defense if it's a full-on ground encounter.
Yeah, yeah. The tank count cannot be underestimated. Even though it seems like Innovation has been just slapping TaeJa down all game, he's been sacrificing a lot of siege tanks to do so. You know, he's putting his siege tanks into positions that is forcing TaeJa into certain moves that Innovation is then trying to abuse. But he's got to be careful, because 18 siege tanks, man, and more on the way, he can't really break that. TaeJa, in fact, this is what TaeJa should do. He needs to chill. He needs to siege up all his tanks.
Yeah, he needs to
just be like, all right, you know, I lost a lot of command centers, but that means that I'm going to mine out slower than you. I think TaeJa should bring this into like an hour-long game.
I think so. I think actually the best move here is, if you notice, Innovation's going to mine out all of his expansions on his side of the map first. So if Liquid TaeJa actually stays alive in this game and just outlasts Innovation, eventually Innovation's going to go broke and TaeJa will win.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see what these guys do because I think they're both realizing right this moment that there is no way to break each other. So we're going to have to see a lot of starports go up. It's really the only way. Or a huge move like this, like a huge, huge one. But that goes right through a sensor tower.
Yeah.
So I imagine those getting caught. That would be painful.
Well, that would be a game changer for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we see Innovation throwing down a couple armories. Those are going to be most likely for starport upgrades. Throwing down 3 more command centers, get some more mules out so that he doesn't have to have SCVs. He needs to lower his SCV supply and up his other supplies. But yeah, this is, here we go. It's just going to be starport time, and this game should go extremely long. If they both realize what's going on, which it does look like, since TaeJa's already in those starports and the 2 armories just finished for Innovation.
Fusion core on the way too.
Yeah, so here we go, Tasteless. Someone has to really mess up to die from here.
Well, he's going to try to do a massive drop here into the main. He just needs to scan over there.
That's quite a risk. That is quite a risk. Oh my god.
Okay, now this could be huge. He could take out all the production facilities.
Yeah, this is a lot of Marines coming down. Going to take out quite a bit. Thing is, these barracks and whatnot don't matter all that much. Innovation's going to have to remax very quickly.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Whoa. Was that like a bad hotkey?
Yeah, that was. You know what? He might have had those tanks in the same hotkey as those medevacs.
There's too many medevacs here for TaeJa, so it doesn't matter. Even though Innovation would probably on that if it was just Marines.
He's actually bringing more units over. Look at this.
I think Innovation might have actually bungled this.
Well, now he's killed off those Marines of TaeJa. The supply is still very similar. He's taken out quite a few of the production facilities. So many medevacs.
Weird game, yeah.
Yeah. I would love to see a ghost dropped in there.
Oh, look, he's targeting down the medevacs there. Oh, that was so smart.
That's a really good move. These Marines, are not going to be able to do nearly as much damage now.
Yeah, the Marine Army is really only worth as much as the medevacs it has around it.
Yeah. That's, ooh. You could make that into like a really sexy saying.
I could. I think I just did.
Yeah. That's pretty good, Tasteless. I wish I had thought of that.
Oh, it's okay. We'll just say it again all the time in GSL. By the way, we have nukes coming up here. What's so funny?
I was just thinking of like stupid ways to say what you said. A team is only a team with a lot of medevacs. It's like, what? That's not well said. All right, well, we do have nukes on the way right now for Innovation.
There's no I in Marine, but there is in medevac. It's like, well, that's not right either.
They both have an I.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't spell me without 2 of the letters in Marine.
That's enough, Artosis. All right, nuke coming out here. Where is the nuke headed towards?
Well, we don't know.
Oh, okay.
Went through the screen.
He knows.
All right. I mean, this is still kind of wild, man. Innovation just continues to do these little drops, these little attacks, and they keep on doing damage.
He really's got to be careful not to lose too many medevacs. Now, to be completely blunt, TaeJa's very tenacious this game. I mean, he is really not giving up.
Yeah, man, that's TaeJa, tenacious. He's TaeJnacious.
TaeJnacious. That's his rap name.
TaeJnacious. That's a great rap name.
Well.
Damages that tank and takes out turret. Worthwhile nuke, I guess.
Oh. Does this actually work?
I don't know. Oh, okay. He's hitting both sides right now. Well, yeah, it looks like it's cutting through a little bit at least, but those siege tanks can be cleaned up pretty easily by a medevac.
Supply difference now is in favor here of TaeJa.
Yeah. Innovation has been entirely too aggressive. It actually did get into the spot where this game should have gone super duper long, and it may actually just go right back there in a moment, but
I think you're right.
I'm kind of surprised with how aggressive Innovation has been. Because now,
Well, man, if I was in Innovation's position, I killed off 4 command centers early on. I'd probably be convinced I was supposed to end this.
I see what you're saying.
Smart. He's probably saying, well, the only thing he could do is turtle us out. I guess I should just go ahead and kill him. And TaeJa's hung on thanks to that huge tank count, tank lead, I should say, which, by the way, is 19-7.
That's a
he
pretty
has more
big
than
lead.
double his opponent's siege tank count.
Wow, that's insanity. And in fact, TaeJa's starting battle cruisers, which is pretty huge. Now here we go. We have a huge attack here from TaeJa. He does pull back to this planetary, which will help some, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh my god. We could hit a base trade from here, Tasteless. There's not a lot of siege tanks at home right now, and in fact,
looks like Innovation might be able to come over here through the bottom and do a little bit more damage to the planetary there to accompany it.
And in fact, TaeJa could be in a lot of trouble now. This huge group of Marines definitely has the potential to take out way more in this main base, whereas he's already held back at home.
This is crazy, TD. One of the better ones we've casted, actually.
Yeah, it truly is. And
losing a few medevacs here, a little sloppy.
Yeah, he's just trying to deal as much damage as he can, as quickly as he possibly can. And the more he takes out, the better, because this is not stuff that TaeJa can rebuild. Their banks are so low here.
Or he's backing up again. Looks like, by the way, TaeJa is actually regrouped over here. Scanning now, and he's going to go for the siege takes over here. Now,
I'm sorry, SCV, that's not going to work.
SCV actually going to do this, yeah. He's going to nuke. Wait, no, the nuke never came.
Yeah, he canceled that. Force the Unsiege, go up, kill off the base. And Innovation. Kid is showing exactly how good he is, man. This has been
This
a
guy
ridiculous.
is ferocious.
This has been a ridiculous display of skill.
GG, wow.
I am in. I want to swear right now to show how much skill this kid has.
I can't believe how crazy that was. I mean, talk about riding that nerd. I mean, TaeJa was like a bucking bronco back there. And he just got hogtied. I mean, damn. Can you hog
Farmer tasteless. You could, I suppose.
I don't know.
Theoretically, you could. I don't know that it's been done, but it just was.
I'm the guy. I've only been in a mechanical bull once, and that was scary enough in my entire life.
You are a mechanical bull. That's crazy.
I have family that's in the South, so that's what they do down there.
See, yeah, no, you can't avoid it then.
You can't avoid it.
It's a ritual as soon as you go past the United States equator.
Yeah, that's the equator of the U.S. And then when I was knocked off the mechanical bull, I was thrown forward, and I was pretty sure that there were actually real horns on the
oh my god,
the bull, but it was actually fuzzy foam horns. But I thought I was about to be gored on there in front of my cousins.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I mean,
it's so funny.
It's the South, man. So, you know, Innovation, I cannot believe how sick that was.
Look,
that was so impressive.
He's so good. I thought he beat TaeJa, and he did beat TaeJa, and TaeJa actually made it pretty close times because he's very good, but the way Innovation played that, the multitasking, the mechanics, the macro, the seeing weakness and exploiting it instantly, God, I can't wait to see Innovation.
Not how you're supposed to play TVT. I've never seen a Braver Siege tank force their way in there. But you know what? He made it work. I guess if you're just that good.
There's probably better moves he could have done, to be frank.
but it works.
No, the way he did it was just so good.
TaeJa, I mean, was defending for almost the entire time. I think he poked once or twice to take out the most obvious, the base, the fourth base in the middle. Did not matter, man. That guy is sick.
Don't mess with Innovation.
Do not. Well, we'll see what happens in this game. This map's even bigger here because it's whirlwind. So get ready for game number 2 here. TaeJa against Innovation.